And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
I can't catch a break, guys.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys.
People think, oh, well, cleaning your room, that's just a cliche. It's like, yeah, really, eh? Just go ahead and try it.
If people had any idea how powerful sleep is for healing from anything, and the fact that it's free.
My mind is absolutely bulletproof, solid as a rock.
Podcast. Welcome to the Fighting Fit podcast.
I'm Niall.
I'm Chris, and we've got some big news this week.
So, Chris, do you want to tell everybody?
Yeah, Brandon and Chloe had a wee baby, little baby Mason Mulligan. It was all kept on the DL while everything was happening. Congrats.
Worst kept secret.
Yeah, everyone knew. Where's Brandon?
Where's Brandon? Haven't seen him in a couple of days. Has he had the baby? No.
I don't know. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
She's ready to go though, but he hasn't had the baby. I swear. You're being weird. So
Mason's healthy. I think he's 6 pounds, just around that there.
It's like 6 pounds 13 ounces or something like that.
Already he's been claimed to be the best Pilates baby ever.
Probably the best boxing baby of all time. After Conor McGregor's son.
Oh yeah. But who's it? Neve was saying something along the lines of like he'll have abs in 2 weeks.
Probably. Brandon probably already has him doing like Russian twists or something like that. He actually looks very, very like Brandon. He's
I agree.
Very cute little baby. So congratulations to Chloe and Brandon. He's fully deserve it, and I wish us all the best.
Brandon's delighted.
I can imagine. I'd say he's even more humble than before.
Yeah, that's like humble is a good way.
He probably just has a peaceful zen around him now. A little bubble peace.
He was explaining to me, he was like, Chris, you don't understand.
We don't understand.
You don't understand how much I love that little kid. And you're right, I don't understand. But,
and then he doesn't even understand how much Chloe loves it.
Yeah, like
his levels.
Well, I was FaceTiming when I was talking to him about it, and I was getting emotional through the camera, just the way I was describing it. It's like, oh, there's a wee baby, like I'm an uncle again. It's mad.
It's very, very
for
cool.
my little brother.
Yeah, that is cool. Your little man, your younger sibling has a baby.
It's scary stuff.
It's cool. If my younger sibling had a baby, I'd have to kill her. But she's too young.
And then on top of that, week 1 of the Kickstarter is just finished.
Yeah, guys.
Saturday.
What is it? We are day 6 of the Kickstarter Challenge 3.0. It's our busiest challenge to date. I think we must have like 60 or 70 people taking part, and everybody, from what I can see so far, everybody is doing really well. Some lots of tasty meals. I'm seeing posted in the group. Our workout program, our new 12-week workout program, has also began this week. So our Kickstarters and our regular members are tracking their sets and the reps on the app. So
we can ensure progression.
Exactly. So guys,
we also have online workouts as well. So
yes, that's
every single day.
That's a big feature that a lot of people are giving us positive feedback on that. So the way it works now, guys, is if you can't make it to the gym, we also have an online workout for every day that there is a studio workout. So you have no excuses to not get your results. You'd be amazed at what results you can get from just yourself, a sweat towel and a bottle of water. So that's the new program's going really, really well.
On top of that, we have the monitors in for everyone as well.
Yes, we're implementing in our heart rate training system, our polar training system. We usually have in-house monitors for people to borrow when they come in, but we are implementing a initiative where everybody has to have their own monitor. So it just makes it more. It makes the kind of sign up for the workout and the whole getting to the gym process just a lot more efficient. And we're currently sold out on all the monitors, so we're waiting on another shipment. So that's all good news.
And also you can use the monitors at home as well for your online workouts.
That's
so it just interlocks nicely.
That'll be a main selling point because again, for your online workouts, if you can't make it to the gym, you can still use your monitor on your phone, or if you're going for a run, just any kind of outside activity you can use it, and it's a really good piece of equipment to acquire.
Boom. So let's talk about week 1 of the Kickstarter program. So again, we glossed over it there, but let's go on about the workout. So Monday we do our circuits. Okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday we have upper body. This week the main list was our chest press and our pullover.
chest press, dumbbell pullover.
Boom. Big compound movements. You really want to get those numbers up for those.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, it was leg day. Well, what do we do leg day? Deadlift, dumbbell deadlifts, dumbbell squats.
Yeah, so for anyone listening that doesn't know how our classes work, basically we have 3 sections of the class. We have when we're tracking our sets and reps, which would be Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have a compound section, a kind of an isolation mixed with compound section, and a cardio section. So we'd have 2 compound lifts, which on the upper body day just happen to be dumbbell pullover and chest press. On the opposite section, we have bicep curls, shoulder press, tricep extension, and Russian twist, just add in a little bit of core there. And we've also got
fair play. Remember, fair play.
We've also got our cardio section, which is of course at Fighting Fit, the boxing bags. So that is our 30-minute session, kind of put together in 3 sets of 8 minutes, 25 minutes work, 5 minutes for a warm up, and then we got our stretches afterwards. So that's kind of just the base of how our Fighting Fit session works, and it has proven to be very, very, very effective.
Boom, yeah. We'll talk about that, and then what's your favourite day of the week?
Oh, I hate it, but I love it, which is legs.
Oh,
I'm
same.
fond of a weight deadlift, to be honest.
Yeah, man, I just love moving so much weight. That's the best way to do it. Saturday classes are just killer as well.
I hate squats, but I love deadlifts, so it's kind of the yin and the yang.
Yeah, I'm the same. I hate squats so much.
Squats, like I don't like that. I don't like that burn in my quads, but I love that burn in my hamstrings.
Yeah.
But I also like any lad. We do love a good upper body session.
Yeah, man. Next week we're doing single arm chest press. So
Nice.
we've got a superset left and right. If you're looking to get stronger, that's the session to really start upping the weights in. Especially like if you've good form, you should start lifting some really heavy weights on that one. If you want to make gains for the future, you want to up your push-ups and all that sort of crack, single arm chest press is where it's at.
Even if you, let's just say you use two 12.5 kg dumbbells for a chest press, maybe up to 15 or 17 for your single arm, just to get that isolation and that time under tension. And then on Mondays and Saturdays we got our circuit classes. Friday we have a full body session, so it'll be a mixture of upper body and lower body. And then on Saturdays we have a longer session, 45 minutes, specifically boxing entailed, with a little bit of circuits mashed in there as well. And to be honest, actually Saturday could be my favourite day of the week.
Same.
For overall gym morale, I just love Saturdays.
Yeah, it's class. There's just a different vibe to the 45-minute workout. I don't know what it is.
It's different. It's almost like Saturday is like a bank holiday.
Yeah.
Gym.
And everyone's just super pumped for Saturday.
Good vibes, because obviously most people don't work on Saturdays, but I think everyone just kind of, more people staying after class at the coffee shop and stuff. There's just kind of all the chats and bands going around, and I do love a wee Saturday morning myself.
Yeah, the community really does come together.
Yeah.
I like Saturday evenings as well, though.
Saturday evenings are peaceful because you got your afternoon time where you get to do your recording, or like as like right now we are recording on Saturday, January 18th. It's 2:20. I think we've got about 4 hours of free time for all our kind of online work and recording, and then we got our 2 evening classes as well. And what I do like about the evening classes, we have 2, 6:15, 17. 6:15 will be busy, so we'll be just doing the kind of regular time for workout, but sometimes it's very, very quiet for the 7:15, and you get to kind of wing it just a little bit, go a little bit off topic per se. Just if the class is quiet, kind of do what the people want to do. So if you're interested in that, get into the Saturday 7:15 session.
Yeah, man.
You might get some say on what you get to do.
I like doing the 7:15 because you get, like, sometimes if Saturday's a boxing session, you split it between boxing and kind of like a circuit, and for the 7:15 in the evening you just get to go. If there's only a few, you're the all boxing, all shoulders, knees, all do really get into the technique and stuff like that there and step it up. But yeah, so I'd say hands down Saturday has to be my favorite session. Yeah, if I'm deciding, it would go. I like working out, but it would be Saturday, Monday, then Thursday. They're my favorites.
I think mine would be Saturday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday.
Yeah. But after that, one little thing I did want to mention, I did the programming for the Kickstarter workouts, and I implemented new Test Yourself Day. I changed it around a little bit, but the Test Yourself Day is going to be every 3 weeks of the program. So next week won't be there, but the week after it'll be Test Yourself, find out where you're at fitness, and then 3 weeks later after that we'll be doing that exact same session, trying to do the fitness test,
Uh-huh.
and hopefully those numbers will go up. So we'll be doing stuff like your minute burpee test, minute push-up test, minute squat test, stuff like that there.
That's why it's very important, guys, that I know we harp on about it and you might think we're just trying to annoy you about it, but tracking your sets and reps is just very important for ourselves to be able to track your progression, but also for yourself. Like I can see some people that have been lifting the same dumbbells for a year because they just if they're not tracking their sets and reps, they can't see that they are ready to move up in the weights, or maybe if they kind of let themselves or convince themselves that weight is still okay for them, when more often than not you could probably step it up a little bit. So that's why the kind of sets and reps is very important to track your progression, guys.
Yeah, but as well, what I'd like to address there as well is the mentality around it. So
Yes.
when we're coaching people through it, some of the times the mentality we see around it is, oh jeez, that's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, it's like the mentality that I would like you to adopt as your coach would be something along the lines of like, I can't wait to get those numbers up. I can't wait till my form's good enough, my reps are good enough that I can step up to the next weight, because the next weight means better gains.
Exactly. Or even, I can't wait for it to be really hard.
Yeah. Well, again,
I love when it's really hard.
Yeah. I'd say that comes down to personality. Some people just hate hard work.
Yeah,
Some
that's
people, they just hate it. They hate it.
But it depends. I don't love going hard on squats, but I love going hard on deadlifts again.
Yeah. You do.
Personal preference, really.
You do have your favourites, but yeah. So do try and be stepping up the weights. My favourite thing to do in class is to go around and see what weights people are lifting, and if I think it's below your level, I will walk over. I'll take your weights off you and then replace them with heavier weights, because
I'm a victim to that in the past. But obviously Chris was right in the end, so I was better for it.
Especially ladies as well. Ladies undersell themselves something serious.
Yeah, I feel like they would get I feel like the ladies go for the small dumbbells. Just I don't even know. Just
I think there's a few different reasons. I think one is like, I don't want to get big and bulky,
mm-hmm.
and big weights are for big lads.
Yeah.
And I think it's that sort of, and also might be very difficult as well.
The only reason I would go against getting bigger weights for kind of any ladies or any of the newbies is form.
Yeah.
Like, I would much rather once I've taught you to get the form down to a T, then it's time to step it up. Then it's time to put away the baby weights and start lifting some weight that's actually gonna work your muscles. So once you get your deadlift down, I'm gonna expect you to be deadlifting kind of the heavier dumbbells, not the kind of the 8 kgs. I want you lifting the 15s, 20s, that sort of thing. Having said that, I have seen a lot of the ladies grab heavier weights on leg day.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Well, I think it comes around to mentality. Like the thing that I hear all the time from all the ladies is, I have no upper body strength. And it's like,
you don't work on it enough.
well, it's not even. It's like, it's not true. They just compare themselves to a strong lad, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not strong compared to that. Or they've tried to do a push-up before, and because they haven't been able to do the push-up, they completely switch off to the fact that they could be strong because they can't do that push-up, and they haven't developed it yet. And then once you start getting ladies do the correct form in the push-ups, and they start getting down, they start understanding that how much effort it takes to actually put out that amount of force, and it's like they'll learn it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's more like a skill rather than strength built. And once they have that skill, well, then they know how to push it a little bit further, and they do it twice, and it builds, and they do develop the strength.
Yeah, I do think learning how to do a push up for kind of the people who haven't really done them before is very important, because you can do some damage if you're doing it wrong. Yeah,
the amount of people I've seen coming from other fitness classes and stuff like that there, where I would have expected someone to correct their form on the push up.
Yeah,
is shocking, and the amount of internal rotation, elbows
mm-hmm.
popping out, and like the speed at which you do them as well. It's just
it's just not. It's the push up is obviously supposed to be chest, shoulders, triceps, but from what I see, it's just insertion of the arm into the blimmin' shoulder, and that's just gonna pull your rotator cuff off the back of your shoulder. That's why, like, whenever I see anyone, like, if I look for a few cues in a push up, and like, I know the first warning sign, and as soon as I see that, I'm on the floor beside him, and I'm like, hold up, let's start from the start.
Yeah. All right, on your knees. No, the hardest person to coach through the push up, I think, is the eager beaver.
It's someone that thinks they know how to do it.
Yeah. And it's like they're not necessarily wrong. It's just a better way of doing it, a safer way. And one of the things that I do want to hop on about with this here as well is with the press up or with form in general. The next thing I was going to lead on to was, what is good form for everyone. I know we don't have it written down here, but we're just going off on a tangent for it. Good form for, let's say, we'll use the press up as an example. Okay, is you secure your spine. You secure your first order joint, and then you secure your second order joints, and then you move through whatever range of motion is comfortable. So for the press up, brace your spine. So draw the pelvis up, draw your abs in, roll your shoulders down your back, secure your shoulders. Okay, grab the floor with your hands, pull the elbows down by your sides. They don't have to be exactly by your sides like a military press up, but they have to not be out in line with your shoulders. Okay, you can go a little bit wider, but as long as those elbows are pointing back in some sort of degree and you have torque in your shoulder, you're safe. And then the second order after that is to make sure you develop the mind muscle connection with the muscles that are working in that exercise. So for your press ups, the common mistake that I see is chest is completely switched off, shoulders are internally rotated, and they're really, really heavy on the shoulder and the tricep. So they just muscle through it with big triceps, and that's something I've been doing for ages till Brandon told me just widen my grip a little bit, screw in, and then use your chest more. And when you use your chest more, you're more efficient. Like you can get more reps in.
One thing I notice is, especially people people newer to exercise, are not as strong. Their chest and their hips aren't aligned.
Yeah,
it could be the hips, chest, hips. Like they're supposed to. Obviously, the ideal push-up is one together. I tend to see a lot of people come down with just the chest and the hips stay up, which is injury waiting to happen.
Let's just make this whole podcast about like
push-ups,
push-ups, and just raving about them. Right. So another thing you see with push-ups, hands under the shoulders. What do you think about that? What do you think about hands under the shoulders, man?
Directly underneath the shoulders.
Yeah, directly underneath the shoulders, and they come like this here.
Yes, I don't know about that. It's supposed to be more hands under chest, kind of almost in line with your ribs.
Yes,
what I like.
Exactly. And the face or the face push.
Yes. And then the elbows flare out. Exactly. But I've actually only recently started describing it as this: when you're getting that torque through the floor of your hands, pretend like you're turning on them big old style taps where you have to crank them, and then you crank the elbows in. If you screw your hand into the floor, the inside of your elbow should then slightly point forward.
Yeah, so exactly, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. But this isn't just a useful skill for your press ups. It's really good for your rows. Like the main thing is that you secure the position of your shoulder.
Can you create torque and have a secure spine and have a secure shoulder position, basically? Yeah,
if you can't do that, you're putting your joints at risk.
Yeah, because you'll get through no one said you won't get through the movement, but you'll probably come out worse off than you started.
Well, so if you don't do it like that, there are things that could happen. So, repetitive strain on the joints.
Yep.
You're not going to get that mind muscle connection with the muscles that are supposed to be in use, and you'll overwork muscles that are maybe supposed to be secondary to that movement. I know that sounds a little bit complicated.
You can make the push up all tricep, even though it's supposed to be a compound movement.
Yeah, and if you're looking to isolate the tricep, go for it.
If you're looking to isolate the tricep, do some tricep extensions.
Yeah, or kickbacks.
Kickbacks are very tough. I feel like they can be done wrong pretty easily though.
Yeah,
depending on the person.
But to secure your shoulders, one thing as well that I see from boxing, and one of the things I have to correct all the time is internal rotation when people are boxing. So when they go through a shot, if you're watching on YouTube, the elbow will come out first and then they'll flick. And usually there's two reasons for that. One is because they don't have a mind muscle connection with their lat and they don't know how to secure their elbow in position, or they've been taught to turn your fist down when you punch, which is correct. But if you do it too early, the elbow pops up and then you do a tricep flick to punch. So the punch looks like this rather than that. So if you're punching it, if you're a boxer and you're listening, your elbows are always flaring up and you're taking those body shots, pull the elbow tight, punch with your palm facing the wall, not so much the floor, all the way out until just before impact, and then rotate 90 degrees and aim with that middle finger knockout.
Another thing that I found, just when you said about the elbow flaring out with a punch, if you were to have that punch parried, you can end up having your elbow pushed back behind your shoulder, and then I'm not exactly sure, kind of like your rear delt. This happened to me actually recently, that's why I'm only talking about it. You can really pull a muscle just right behind your shoulder there, and that is not good because it's been sore for about 2 weeks when that happened to me. But speaking about the boxing, just to move on a little bit, we went off on a bit of a push-up tangent there. In the next couple of weeks, guys, our boxing courses and our yoga / Pilates courses will be getting started again. So
Yoga laddies.
So if you're interested, it's going to be €19. It's going to be boxing will be on Tuesdays and Fridays, 8:15 to 9:15 p.m. Yoga / Pilates will be on Mondays and Thursdays, 8:15 to 9:15 p.m. Both sessions is €19 for the two, so that works out at less than €10 for an hour per session, or one session for 12. So if you're interested, it's one session for 12, two for 19. fightingfitirl@gmail.com if you wanna get in touch about the upcoming boxing and yoga / Pilates classes. Quick plug. Moving on.
Yeah, the next point after going on about boxing and yoga was motivation and visualization. So Gary posted up in the group there asking about motivation.
Yep.
So what's your insight on motivation now? What do you know about it?
What do I know about motivation?
Yeah, just quick. I'll go in a little bit deeper. Just surface level stuff first.
Well, motivation is what, to say it, put it simply, it's what keeps you going.
Exactly. Yeah, that's basically it. It's saying motivation is basically the reason you do anything. So, like if you want to brush your teeth, why do you brush your teeth?
So you don't sorry for cursing, guys. So you don't get rotten teeth.
Exactly, or so your breath doesn't smell. Usually the more powerful motivator is the most immediate sort of one. So if the actions are going to be way down the line, well then you're not really going to care about them.
It's important but not urgent.
Exactly.
That turns into urgent and important, which is another one of the habits of highly effective people. Again, we did a podcast on that. We've done YouTube videos on that. If you're interested, give that a read.
Might do like a 2-hour lecture on that soon, or a 6-hour lecture.
When you're reading the book, it is a little bit hard to get into because it's very in-depth, but there is a lot of YouTube videos that you can look up that just explain it a lot simpler and a lot easier to grasp. I find the YouTube videos, the little animations are very cool.
Yeah. Fight mediocrity and improvement pill. They're really good ones.
What are they, books?
They're YouTube channels.
Oh, okay.
That go over loads of self-help books and stuff like that there as well.
Cool.
But main thing, I did a post on this in the group there the other day, basically on what's your why. Okay. Yes. And if you really want to learn more about it, Jordan Peterson goes into it in a lot of detail. But basically, if you don't have a why and you're doing anything difficult, the door to leave that difficulty becomes very, very tempting unless you can justify it with a meaningful reason. And a meaningful answer means that it has to be important to you. So there's no point in picking one that sounds good for other people or anything like that there. If you there's a cool thing, one of Nietzsche's quotes is, a man who has a why can overcome any how. You've heard Stephen saying that hundreds of times. But the main thing is that if you can't justify whatever suffering you're going through with a meaningful reason, you will not go through the suffering anymore. There's no point. There's no reason to. So exercise is hard, dieting is hard, and if your reason for dieting is I just feel like I should. Yeah. And it's when the chance comes for you to have your cake or not have your cake, it's cake's good, man. It's immediate and it'll feel good and it's gratifying, so you'll have the cake. Whereas if the correct step to this is that when you have the decision to make, okay, it's do I want this? Okay, why do I not want this? Oh, because maybe my kids want me to be alive for when they're getting married. And you've just been to the doctor and the doctor said, you need to change your lifestyle or you're going to die. And that's a meaningful why. That is a very, very meaningful why. Maybe when you were a kid, you were bullied and anytime you took your top off around, you were called fatty or whatever the crack is, and you're just not confident doing anything like that there. If you pull those emotions out, pull the emotions to those situations, and it's will I have the cake or not, and then all of a sudden you have this emotion of fear, rejection, disgust with yourself. It's the cake doesn't become, it's not even a question anymore. But if you don't have the emotions there, well then you've no real drive to do anything. And I think it's really important that people articulate their why clearly, and that it's actually a powerful one, that it's meaningful, because if it's not meaningful, it will have no power. Does that make sense? It needs to have emotional weight behind it.
You need to go level. I think Stephen did this exercise with the mindset mastery people of
5 levels deep.
5 levels. I thought it was 7.
7 levels.
I think
deep.
Stephen went 7 levels deep. So basically, you ask them what their why is. They tell you whatever it is. You go, all right, why is that? they tell you their second reason. Why is that? 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 And eventually you get to the real root of the why, not the big vague why that we started with at 7 number 1, 7 or 5 or 7, whatever it is the actual why. And it's very hard to get there.
But you have to be vulnerable.
You definitely have to be vulnerable. You have to also trust the person that you're
that's
you're
one of the
telling
main
it
ones. Like, even when I'm doing it, if I'm doing it with Brandon or Stephen, like, and the real reason you want to do something, it's like, it's hard to reveal it.
Yeah,
it's hard to show that, like maybe you are a little bit, like 90% not 90% of the time, but a lot of the time when people, it's about weight loss, it's usually dealing with insecurity. Okay, and it's hard to admit the fact that you're really insecure and that you don't like yourself, because in today's society, like with Instagram and all sort of crap, it's like you have to love yourself. Do you know? And if you're not loving yourself, it's like you're not living a good life. Do you get me? And a lot of people won't publicly admit that, you know, I'm not happy with myself, and like they won't. Or if they do, they'll be like, no, I'm just a little bit pudgy, blah blah blah. And I was like, but I still love me and all this sort of crack. And they won't, like, people know how hard they are to themselves, but they just assume that it's just them. Do you get me? Like, if you like, people bully themselves so much with their own voice in their head. You know, like,
your own worst critic.
Yeah, you're a piece of crap. Look at you, so like, oh, look at that. No one will ever, like,
you gave yourself the identity of being that person.
Yeah.
Like if you look in the mirror and call yourself a fat blah blah, you're gonna walk around going, that's just me, I'm that fat guy, I can never be the skinny guy, I'm the fat guy.
Yeah, well, the identity is another thing that you have to overcome as well. But I forget what I was going with that.
You were kind of touching on identity.
Well, the self-talk, the negative self-talk.
Yeah.
And the people just won't admit to having negative self-talk, and the only way to overcome that is to admit it first, acknowledge that it's a problem, and then start taking steps to overcome it. Like, the number one motivation for anyone is to feel secure. That's it. That's usually the number one. It's like, I feel insecure now. I'm not happy with the way things are, and then I want it. Well, it's like insecurity, and it's like because I'm not good enough, and if I'm not good enough, my tribe will kick me out, and if my tribe kicks me out, then I'll die. That's the way it usually goes. And the feeling, like, you've probably learned a response when you were a kid, and that feeling, it's like a gut-wrenching feeling of like I can't let that happen to me. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And the only way you can like overcome that feeling is to accept yourself for what you are now. Okay, understand that you are a changing, growing being, and that you can develop, and that you can get to where you want to go, but it's going to require some sacrifice. And if you don't make those sacrifices, well, then it won't happen. Yeah. So you need to go, like, the reason that you want to do something, like, let's say you want to lose weight, you come up with your why, and the why is like, I don't want to be insecure anymore. I don't want that feeling of self-hatred or disgust or contempt. So, you know,
yeah. You have to acknowledge where the starting point actually is to be able to move forward at all.
Exactly. I want to feel good about myself again. Or maybe it's something like, I want my partner to be attracted to me again, because I'm
that's awful.
Well, again, like,
I know, it's so sad.
Again, maybe I'm not articulating it 100% clearly, but the one that hits home for me is like, maybe I don't want my partner to be, or maybe I want my partner to be more attracted to me,
or I don't want them to be embarrassed by me or something like
exactly.
that.
And it's like, imagine like the where that's a real situation for you, and it's like,
that's an awful feeling.
It is, and if that doesn't motivate you to do it, well, it's like, fine, but what will?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because if your partner, but you're also afraid that your partner will leave you as well because of that. And then it's like your tribe will leave you, and then
the insecurity comes back in.
Exactly, and then no one will ever love you because you're a fat piece of.
Yeah, exactly.
So the takeaway point from this is that if you don't have a wife, or when the going gets tough, well, then I would put money on that you're not going to hit your goal, and that you'll take the easy way out when.
If you're interested in finding your why, guys, read a really good lecture or book by Tony Robbins, Unlimited Power. He kind of revolutionized how to find your why, and I feel like Unlimited Power, it's worldwide. It's a very, very, very good book or seminar. If you want to look it up, give it a listen. I think that'll really, really help anyone out there looking to find out in depth what finding your why is, and then also how to find it.
It's good. The 5 levels deep is a good one as well.
Yeah.
Go and be honest with yourself, write it down, and be willing to admit to some stuff that you're not really happy about admitting to.
And you don't have to admit it to some. If you're really, really uncomfortable, you don't have to admit it to somebody else. Just first step is admit it to yourself.
Exactly.
Anything else you want to touch on, Chris?
Next up, maybe do a little bit on supplementation.
Cool.
So before we get into the deals and all that sort of crack that we have, okay, we sell, 3 main supplements. We sell protein, creatine, and
BCAAs.
Or
and
caffeine. Caffeine, okay. So protein, alright, number one thing about protein. Protein is the most satiating food out of all foods. It has the highest thermic effect, and if you're on a fat loss diet, like 90% of trainers will recommend you have more protein. The reason for this is that it will keep you fuller for longer. So if you, let's say you're on a low calorie diet, you are more than likely going to be hungry. So let's say it's between lunchtime and dinner and you're about 4 hours away and you're starving, you have a protein shake, it's low calories and it'll keep you full, it will kick that craving. On top of that, it's the building blocks of your muscle. You want to make sure that after a session you get that in, you can recover effectively. And
then anyone that doesn't know, kind of the high thermic effect of food is basically it takes your body more calories to digest it. So also it's more satiating because it takes your body longer to digest it, and it's also it's got the high thermic effect, which basically means your body burns more calories to digest it. So it keeps you fuller for longer while also burning more calories to digest. So again, guys, protein. A high protein diet has just been shown to be the most efficient diet. The most efficient diet around. Again, if you're not into animal protein, that doesn't mean that you can't get your protein up. You know, you got all the different kind of lentils, kind of corn, all that sort of vegetarian, tofu, vegan, all that, whatever you like to do. If you're against, I know there's a big kind of rising these days by vegans. So if you are against animal protein, there is plenty of ways around it. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to hit your protein and keep those gains. And
then on top of that, creatine. What's so cool about creatine?
Gives you loads of ATP.
Yeah, so creatine, alright. Number one, it's the closest thing to steroids you can get without actually being bloody steroids, I think. Improves your performance like mad.
It's also the most tested and researched supplement, and also proven to be safe to use.
Yeah, on the planet. Alright, It is, if I could recommend any supplement after a whey protein, it would be creatine. Alright, creatine phosphate is the best thing on the planet, or creatine monohydrate, sorry. If you want your push-ups to go from, let's say, 30 to 40, really, really quickly with minimal effort, just start taking creatine every day. Okay, if you want your muscles to swell and you want to look a little bit bigger and you're looking to get stronger, creatine will do that for you. If you want your numbers up in the gym, if you want to improve the volume that you can work at, if you want to improve your power output, creatine is the way to do it. Alright, if you want to be able to retain more water and stay more hydrated, creatine is the way to do that.
Kind of just a little simple explanation. Basically, what creatine does is it fills your body with what I think called adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine. So basically, guys, your body has this ATP, but it only has it in a kind of a. You get it from kind of different dietary supplements and kind of like meats and stuff like that. But your body doesn't make a whole lot of it. And basically, what it is how much power, like how explosive and how powerful you can be when you're performing a movement. And basically, what the creatine does is it almost quadruples the amount of ATP in your system. And if you take it consistently, it'll be able to again, as Chris said, like make you more powerful, more explosive. Make you kind of a way to put it is it makes you put off failure longer by a little bit.
Basically, all creatine does is saturate your muscle with creatine phosphate, so you have more energy available for work. Okay, it also helps you retain a little bit more water, so it makes muscles swell and all that jazz. And hydrated muscles perform better than dehydrated muscles too. So
basically, it's a performance enhancer that's completely legal and completely safe and healthy to use.
So combine that with pre-workout caffeine and you're going to have one hell of a workout. If you want to turn yourself into a beast in 1 week, take creatine every single day for a week, and then the next workout you do, like take 150 to 200 milligrams of caffeine, and then you are going to have a killer workout. One thing to note though about caffeine is one of the most addictive substances on the planet. It is incredibly easy to overuse and stress yourself out. It can affect your sleep. Sleep is one of the biggest factors in performance, so make sure you are getting your sleep and that your caffeine intake isn't interrupting it. Caffeine has a half-life of 7 to 9 hours, so be careful with that.
And then again, just to touch on sleep, no matter what supplements, no matter what salads, protein, whatever you eat, if you're not getting efficient sleep, you're already 20 to 30%, even 40%, like kind of slashing your gains, slashing your results, because your body just doesn't have the kind of energy stored, refueled to do what you're asking it to do. I know some kind of, we see like The Rock and stuff, he says he only gets like 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, but The Rock's also steroids up to the gills.
Yeah.
So again, guys, if you think that you can get by and get massive results on 4 to 5 hours sleep a night, you are fooling yourself. Sleep is probably the most important dietary and performance kind of aid that I would recommend, and I know a lot of us struggle with it, myself included. So again, really try and double down on your sleep.
And that's it for another Fighting Fit podcast, guys.
That seems to be it, guys. Alright, lecture over. Sorry about talking for push-ups for so long. Again, just another call, just a little call to action, guys. The boxing and the yoga / bodies courses will be starting soon. Again, fightingfitirl@gmail.com if you are interested. Our lovely manager Jenny will get back to you as quick as possible, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the gym. Chris, anything else left?
Nope.
That's it.
High
Perfect.
fives.
Boom! Alright, guys. See you in the next one.